All right, my lovely friends. New record highs today for the NASDAQ and the S&P 500. I know not one of you are shocked about this. But let's put a little light on something. This market, even though we just hit record highs, may be setting up for some substantial gains even from here. I know how bizarre this sounds. The market is in la-la land. Nothing makes sense. All the news is fake. The data is fake. The propaganda ministry is in full swing. Did you hear Mnuchin today? China trade talks are in their final laps. That's his word. Final laps. How many final laps? I don't know. Maybe we should ask the guy. But it's the propaganda ministry. And they need to keep that narrative going. I would be willing to bet that as I am doing this video blog, there is going to be a tweet storm from the president. New record highs. Oh yeah. Make sure you're watching the stock market. Completely ignore the bond market. Doesn't matter. Neither does the fake data. Anyway. So here's why I am saying what I am saying. We understand, and I covered this earlier. This is a huge week. We got the Federal Reserve coming out, and I do not believe we're going to hear any policy change. In other words, they're going to maintain what they are doing now. No cut, no hike, but they are going to blow sunshine straight up the crack of this market like you have no idea. And if Powell gets it right, and believe me, he's rehearsing this speech right now. It's all scripted. You know that. And so are the questions, the Q&A section, all scripted, everything. Nothing is said by accident. These questions are hand-picked from the audience. Period. You all know that. So if he gets it right, if Powell sets the stage here on Wednesday, the market's going to go higher. And I think he's walking kind of a tightrope. But look, they have a printing press and they have a set of fingers. At least most of them do. When they're not probing body cavities with them, the one in the back. Seriously, and they can add digits to a screen. They can do whatever they want to do. That's what they're going to do from here until this entire thing just melts down. We know that's going to happen. And I am not speculating here. The world central banks colluding with world leaders, inflate bubbles and then deflate bubbles. Inflate bubbles and then deflate. They just transfer wealth, waves from the masses to the 1%ers. That's who they all work for. I don't care what you might think. I don't care what you might believe. I know these markets. This is all I do. So you can sit there and say what you want. I think I have a pretty good handle on this. With that said, we witnessed some cash come out of the bond market today. We saw cash leave gold. We saw cash leave silver, even cryptocurrencies to a certain degree. So where's this cash going to go? You got it? You see, when I say these little things, a little light should go off in your head. Oh, I know where. That's why Powell is going to attempt to get this right, push more cash into the stock market, super hyperinflate it on the back of the debt bubble. You all know this. We are going to take advantage of this. There is no doubt about it. And that's exactly what me and my lions have been doing. If you don't believe that, well, ask some of my lions how they've been doing with my trades lately, especially this IWM trade, which I closed earlier today. I frankly ripped the face off of it to the bone, and I am a happy guy. So with that said, with the cash now somewhat coming out of the bond market, I don't think this is the big sell-off here. Again, we are going to experience that at one point. Rates are going to spike. Stocks are going to dive. That will not be allowed to happen in the managed market that we have now. Managed market is going to hear all kinds of propaganda, all kinds of it, things that you can't believe, but a lot of people are going to eat it. They're going to eat it right up. Fake news, fake stories, fake data. It's all part of the Communist Manifesto. It's really what we have here in the United States right now. No resemblance whatsoever of a free market or a free market economy is gone. Gone. With that said, we know what they're going to do. They're going to force cash into the stock market. Central banks around the world are going to not only buy debt, because obviously they're doing that to keep rates suppressed. They can't just say it. You have to understand that. World central banks, including the Fed, can't just say, hey, we're going to keep rates low. And they just stay low. No. They have to get into the market and make it happen. They have to print cash out of thin air, add it to a digital screen, and buy debt, buy debt, buy debt. The more debt they buy, the more rates become suppressed. When you have a rally in the debt market, that means yields go down as cash goes into the debt market. And this has fostered a massive debt bubble, you know that, and the stock market bubble, and malinvestments across the spectrum. It's like nothing we have ever seen in the history of the world. That's how we know a grand fleecing of the middle class is going to occur at one point to such a degree it's going to eclipse every single market crash and housing crash in history combined. The middle class people out there, they're going to be walking the streets like zombies, literally on their knees, praying for some kind of help to come along. And that's the setup. The setup here is to have an absolute meltdown of the system, and then a new system will be put in place. Obviously, it's not going to be meant to benefit the middle class, which is going to be decimated, wiped out, and many will lose their lives. But they're going to pray for some kind of help to come, and of course it's going to be offered. It's already there. I explained to you, we are living in the past. Our futures have already been decided, period. And it's up to us to decide how we're going to play that. Now, with that said, it seems that some of you have been brainwashed or programmed, I don't know by who, into you should not be holding gold and silver because if it's not going to be backing a currency, it's going to zero. Whoever is telling you that is brain dead. You should be betting against the debt and becoming your own central bank. I explained to you in detail how they rigged the gold and silver markets via the derivative. If you have not seen that video, go search for it in my archives. I did it like a week or two ago, and learn for yourself. Stop listening to idiots, imbeciles, and morons who don't even have one functioning brain cell, who think they know these markets. Very few people on this earth know these markets. That's the truth. They think they do. They believe that they have some conception of how things really work. They have no idea. Zero. They are zeros across the board. Anyway, with that said, people, just a little heads up. I haven't done anything like this in quite a while, but I am going to. Tomorrow, I am slated to be on your friend and mine's show, Greg Hunter. I am not going to be making a habit of doing interviews, but literally hundreds of you have written to me about doing it, getting back on Greg's show. So we're going to do this. I will not be appearing on anyone's show as a regular guest, more likely a one-off or a once-in-a-while thing. And when I do it, and when it comes out, I will place a link for you to watch that interview. Again, these are going to be exceedingly rare with regard to me doing interviews anywhere, any place. But I happen to know Greg for a very long time. And he does hold a special place in my heart. I'm not kidding. I love the guy. I really do. With that said, I love all of you too. And I'll see you in the morning. Contemplate this video. Think about the concepts I've spoken about here. And if it's important to you, do people need to hear it? Please share the video. Get it out. I'm counting on you. See you in the morning.